Sounds good.
Yeah. How are you doing? That is interesting. And Quinn,
I,
how are
I'm
y'all doing
doing
today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Yeah, had a nice day so far. Nice and warm out. It was raining a bit where I am, but it's
Nice.
been good.
Yeah, so how we actually met was we were in Elixir's Discord group,
Yeah, yeah.
and what happened was that we were talking to him and he was giving us like he was asking us for video recommendations, and you were talking to him about something. I forgot what it was, but you wanted to do like a collab with him.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't touched base with him on that since, but potentially something in the works. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, me neither. I was supposed to do a podcast with him too. I sent him emails and DM'd
Yeah.
him. He's kind of weird, not like in how he acts or anything, but like when I text him and stuff, like it's just like he's super like cryptic about it, which is like okay,
Mm.
whatever. But I'm just glad I met you and some other people from that, because it's like, hey, if you can't make good out of another situation, try to get with other people. And so
Yeah,
here I
yeah, of course.
was knowing you, and thank God. And I watched your YouTube channel, and I gotta say, like, what made you like start your YouTube channel and talking about stuff? Because your first video was about the world's, I think, smallest island, not island, but like it was like a country sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, like, okay, so I was watching a lot of these geography related channels like Real Life Lore and Wonder Why and stuff like that. And those were all topics that really interested me, especially like different unique places around the world. And so I at some point I think it was 2018, like maybe in March of 2018, I decided uh I was gonna make a channel, and I had a couple. Quinn and I and another friend had done some channels before, so I had some experience using YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
But we'd all done sort of channels together and like made videos together and stuff. But this was the first sort of like personal channel I'd had, and and yeah, and so that first video was on the capital city of the Maldives, which is just sort of striking because it's all built up and it's on this really tiny island. So I thought it was cool, and I mean, if you go back, it's still like the content of the video is still good. I mean, um, but then the obviously like the thumbnail could be better and the audio. I've got a better microphone now and
Yeah.
figured things out a little more as I've continued with YouTube. But I haven't deleted. Well, I've only a couple of videos of my old stuff because most of it is except for a couple really early ones. Most of it is really high quality stuff.
Oh yeah.
And so I figured, yeah, I could. It would be cool to do something like that.
Especially with your first video too, because like that was like the first one I watched, and it was like, wow, that is legitimately interesting. That is interesting. Like when I watched your first video, because the city in the middle of the ocean. Like, did you get that name from that, or what? How did you get your name?
I don't know. The name of the channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried through a couple names. I didn't have a clear one in mind, and a lot of them were taken. And I was like, at some point I landed on that is interesting, and it wasn't taken. I was like, oh, I like this name. It
Yeah.
works.
So currently, my homie, the co-host Noble's trying to join. I I don't know what's going on, why he can't, but as you can see here, like we have. So I don't know if he's just listening or what's going on with him. But other than that, we gotta go on with
Okay.
we gotta do. Um, but other than that, uh, uh, how did it feel when you like first hit like 1K subs or like 100, all that stuff?
Yeah, it was really all of a sudden. It was really all at once. That it started to take off. Some of my other channels, um, one of them was around 120. So and then my channel got up to around 120 as well. So that didn't feel like super huge, but when when it really started to grow was because I had my biggest video at the time, which was around then like 1,000 views, was about how back in the 1800s the U.S. had wanted to buy Greenland, Iceland, Canada, and Alaska, and then
Mm-hmm.
so that's like 1,000 views, and then I've got a couple other ones
Yeah,
around
I
100.
think
And
the
then one day,
Mm-hmm.
what were you saying?
Oh no, I was saying. Oh, I think the video that blew up mostly was like 80% of Americans live on the East Coast.
Yeah. But like, so what happened was that one like Greenland video, I see on the news one day about how there were reports that like Trump potentially wanted to buy Greenland, and it was getting a lot of because it was such sort of a random
Yeah, it's a weird
random
thing
thing. It was
because we
getting a
haven't
lot
bought
of
a state
yeah.
since like the 1950s. I think. With the last one was Hawaii.
So it was all over the news, and I was like, shoot, this is gonna like bury my video, and this is like my biggest video at the time, and I was like, this is not gonna get it's not gonna get a lot of views, anymore because all the attention's gonna be going to this.
Yeah.
But I was pretty wrong because if people were looking up U.S. buying Greenland, my video was the first thing that came up because it was already out there well before any of this happened, and so like something like 80% of the views on that video are from people specifically searching for that or a similar topic,
Mm-hmm.
whereas with most of my videos it's like 1% are from search results. And so that video just blew up. It got up to like 100,000 views, and my channel started climbing in sub growth really fast.
Yeah,
But then
that's
what happened is
crazy.
with all the viewers and new subs coming on, some of my other videos started to get promoted. And one of my least viewed videos, which was so low in views that I'd actually considered making it unlisted because it had so few views. I'm very glad I didn't. Was the 80% of Americans live east of this line video.
Really?
And then yeah. That's why I never make videos really unlisted anymore because you never know what's going to happen. It really took off and was doing exponentially better than the Greenland one, and
Oh.
started doing great. And yeah, so that got me up to around 20,000 subscribers. And then just last fall, I started making some videos on like interesting maps, and then um, around that same time, starting the series called the U.S. Explained that
Yeah.
led to a whole bunch of um, growth of the channel, and now I'm at like 76,000.
Yeah, I feel like most of like the stuff that you put on that gets the most views is when people talk about the United States of America, because like especially the states too, those get a lot of views.
They
Especially
do, and they do consistently well too.
I like the ones mostly about the politics and just everything in the U.S., especially with the political dynasties of George Bush, and all that stuff with Ronald Reagan and how his dad George Bush's dad was his vice president, and after that he became
Yeah,
president. I think George Bush's dad was the last person to ever win California that's a Republican.
yeah, you're probably right. I mean, that was those. I like making those videos a lot. They don't do too well in terms of views.
They
But I have a lot of fun making those because those are
Yeah,
topics that
those are
I love
good.
learning with.
I feel like people want to listen to them too. As I thought, like, have you ever mentioned? Like, I know you mentioned they went to Yale and stuff, but like, if I were like to help you with that or edit that video, I would like try to mention like the
Yeah.
Skull and Bone Society
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Like, make some theories too that like game theory. George Bush's dad was at the assassination of John F. Kennedy. Cause you seen that picture that's been going around. It's been there for a while, but like it's been like the day that JFK died in Houston. There was this guy that looks similar to George Bush's dad, and people were like going wild with it.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of stuff like that, but I've got a pretty big platform, and I don't want to be spreading conspiracy
Yeah,
theories and like
conspiracy theories.
speculating on a bunch of wild stuff. I don't know. I
Yeah,
always
that's
try to
true.
make sure
Yeah,
that
make sure it's
my
the
stuff's
facts.
factually
The
accurate,
facts.
you know.
But yeah,
Um,
of course, you always want to speak the facts, just like Ben Shapiro. You know.
yeah, I try. Yeah, I try to like another thing. Uh, I try to keep my stuff, keep my own political views
Yeah.
out of the videos too, which can be tough.
It
But
can, especially
I
when you're
think I've
talking
been,
about like countries and states of
especially when
like
you're talking about
dynasties.
politics and, but I don't know. I feel like my viewers would get the most out of something if they watch it and they're able to
Yeah.
learn about what's going on and take their take whatever they will away from it,
Because I feel
um,
like it's more
regardless of
educational.
their political views. I want people who would disagree with me politically to also be able to
Yeah,
learn
of
something.
course. That's what it's
Yeah,
all about. I want to, that's how it
yeah,
was
yeah.
for me. Like, I was like this side, and then like I was watching these videos. I'm like, oh, this actually makes a bit more sense. It's like as you grow older, or with just other stuff that makes sense to you, especially like with the left and right, especially how they like switched like during like the LBJ era, like when you
Yeah,
saw the
yeah,
civil rights, how like, and this is facts too, like when he switched, like when he did the civil rights, um, I forgot what it's called. Like, it wasn't. Was it a treaty? No, it was like the
the
bill, the
civil
bill, the
rights
bill, the
Yeah,
act.
yeah,
Yeah, it was a bill, and what happened was like most Democrats, I guess, didn't agree with it, or like most Republicans like didn't, and I think they like switched and stuff because I feel like Nixon was like going for like Democrats and stuff. Like it's weird. It's like politics is super like really
yeah.
confusing because like whichever party you're in, like you'd think they would believe this, but it's like everything, man. Like it's just not just one
Yeah.
thing. That's what I love about but it's so confusing about the two parties. Like it's like first they're this and now they're that, and it's just like super confusing. It's like just stay to one thing, but that's how it is, I guess. When
Yeah. Well, there have been like one thing I've thought about making a video on is there been like, I don't know, maybe five or six different, they call them party systems. And it's like maybe they had different parties, but the Democrats and Republicans have been around for a long time.
yeah,
But you're right, they'd like believe in different things, they'd win different states, it was like they're almost totally different parties. And people don't really, I guess, think about that too often.
um okay, so yeah, because like the last party to ever go against someone, what was his name? Oh my god, I hate it. Hold up, let me look this up.
Yeah.
um it was during the Clinton like
Oh, like Ross Perot.
Ross Perot, yeah, Ross Perot.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
hated, I hated that I didn't know that because Ross Perot, like, not a lot of people know about Ross Perot, but he had
Yeah,
19%, and he
I
could have
know
been
he
like the
did.
best president in the world.
He nearly won. I mean, he was the front runner for a time, and he dropped out of the race and then came back. It was kind of it's kind of weird.
No, but he
So
predicted the
I think,
GDP.
yeah, I think there could have been. I mean, I think you could have seen a situation where he wins, and then I wonder what that would have like, how that would have turned out. Well, I'm in Minnesota, and his party actually won a governorship in Minnesota. Jesse Ventura won on the Reform Party.
Yeah,
And that was another like really, I guess, election that really surprised people.
because
I forget when that was, but the party has kind of, I think, died down since then.
yeah, it's kind of sad because I feel like Ross Perot was like the only one that actually cared. Like you, he was no, he even made infomercials too, explaining all the stuff and how it was.
Yeah,
And like in today's politicians, like whether it be on both sides, they don't explain anything. Like they just like, okay, this is how it's gonna be, this is how that. But he has like long infomercials. What I can tell you about like Ross Perot, he was a real G. That's all. That's all. I gotta say. He predicted the GDP, but like I would rather have a candidate that would explain all the stuff to me than just say, "Oh, we're gonna do this," but he was like, "Oh, this is how we do it. This is why it's this way." And in a few years, explaining it. And he was right.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder when the next time is that we'll have a major sort of third party candidate. I did a one video I did was on like third party elections with major third party candidates. That was super interesting. It was like a
Yeah.
might have been a 3-part video. But that was really interesting to like do research on.
Especially with like the presidents with no experiences as well.
Yeah,
I like the part
yeah.
ones and part twos of all of them because that's how you know like you have so much to put on these videos.
Those are fun videos to make. Like for whatever reason they don't really maybe it's I don't know, it's hard to get like good
It's
thumbnails
weird.
with those. I don't know if it's
They're
a
good.
promotion problem or what. But they're like, yeah, they're good videos and I always really enjoy making them, but
But
they're getting like
I feel like if you keep continuing with like the states and
yeah.
like you also have to like be consistent with your uploading. So like the thing is, if I were you, I would at least make one video every week. I know that
Yeah,
might be a bit stressful, but 4 videos a month isn't that bad because people mostly do daily uploads. But you gotta be on some like some rush, you gotta be like on an adrenaline rush to get like those out. But with yours, it takes
yeah,
time.
yeah.
You have to get the facts out. You have to like properly plan these out. All this stuff you're saying,
Hmm.
and you're gonna have to script it out too. Do you do scripts
Yeah,
with your
that's the
videos?
thing. I do script the videos. And so that takes it takes a while, but I think it makes the quality better. But I
It
mean,
does.
some of these videos are like 30 minutes, you know. So getting one of those out a week even is a lot. But yeah, I definitely need to
Yeah, cause like
get to more of a consistent uploading
probably
schedule.
like
But it's
the
tough with
videos that
school and
take
all.
you like 14 minutes must take you like 2 hours or something, or like
Yeah, I mean,
days.
for the research at least, and then the editing process, getting all the pictures and video clips and all that.
What do you use? I
Yeah.
use like Power Director, but like I use like it's like the full version, no logo.
Yeah, I use DaVinci Resolve. It's pretty good. It's like it's free, but it's easy to use and good quality. So I've been happy with it.
Yeah. What year are you in at school? Are you like junior year, senior year? Cause
I'm in college. I'm a
oh
freshman in
really?
college. Yeah,
Oh, you're fresh out, bro. I just gotta wait like one more year, and I'm gonna go to college.
yeah.
I'm planning to do EMT, emergency medical technician, because it's only three
Yeah, yeah.
months, and it pays more than Mickey D's. And after
Yeah.
that, do another 2 years of do 2 years of cybersecurity, and then that's all I'm gonna do. I don't want to do like 4 years because I've seen a lot of people that they have gotten scholarships or went to college, and most of them that drop out are like either in debt or they have to pay, and it's just like I'd rather do 2 years or like 3 months, something little.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely not for everyone and it can be yeah,
Oh no,
student debt's a
it's horrible.
big problem, you know. But do you think you'd want to continue your channel after college?
Uh, that's what I was thinking, and thank you actually asking that. So, what I was
Yeah.
talking with my friend Noble was that eventually once I was 18, I would have to stop during like the summer because I that's when I have to like go take my EMT courses.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, so I would probably have to be paying so much attention to that and right after that summer, but yeah, I would like to, but like I'm putting as much time making videos now, especially when I
Hmm.
have school too. Like I can only get out like 2 videos a month, but 2 videos are better a month than like nothing. So,
Yeah, yeah.
as most people that do this are like really young, they have school. Me, same, but I try to get them out as much as I possibly can
Yeah,
because
yeah.
most people that do this for the money, but now you have to do this for the passion because it's not easy doing YouTube for the money.
Hmm.
Like for you, you probably did this with a big burning passion, especially with like geopolitical. Like first you went like small with the city in the middle of the ocean, which is interesting. That's literally because it's interesting. And like the
Yeah.
channel, and like wow, that's interesting. You have a really good channel name, and what you do for videos. I feel like you can go really, really big, like big enough that like eventually like schools will have your videos as ed puzzles.
I've had people say that they've like watched the videos for a class and stuff. That's always kind of fun. Like having a teacher assign it for homework. It's always kind of interesting. Like wow. But yeah, I mean, it's all about passion. I mean, you can't be you can't be going and saying, "Oh, I have to do this." If you get to a point like that, it's
Yeah,
time to look for to do something else if you don't enjoy it anymore. I mean, it's got to be something you're passionate about,
that's
because it
facts.
requires a lot of time. And if you do something you like, you make the videos you like, hopefully the viewers will come.
Yeah, but what you have is really, really, really good. Okay, so my friend asked,
Well, thanks, man. Yeah.
yeah, like you have got it good. This is a passion. I hope you never stop making videos up until like I don't know, like your 70s or whenever you feel like, you know what, I'm gonna retire. Might as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah,
But
I have no idea. I'm not thinking like too far in advance on
yeah,
this, but
obviously you still want to go to college, do all your stuff. Don't like, get out, but whenever you have the time to do it in your free time, do it because I know some people that did YouTube for a career and it backfired and someone luckily had like their diploma and
mm,
thank God they did because otherwise they would have been in a problem.
yeah, yeah.
But the
Like
mhm.
I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, sorry, but like the thing is like about that is you're doing college and you're doing this, so just keep doing what you gotta do. Heck, you can even make a book
Yeah,
and it'd probably be
man.
a success. Like like when I thought you were making these videos, I thought like you did it like as a class project for like the first one. Like, you know what, I could like make a career out of this. Or like I like doing this, let's just make more.
I mean, I've done some of them for class projects. Like sometimes if there's a teacher that knows I have a channel, they'll be like, "You can write an essay or you can make a YouTube video." I'm like, "I'm definitely gonna make the YouTube video,"
Yeah,
you
of
know.
course. Yeah, it's really
But
good. Other than that, I wanted to ask too, do your
if
parents
you're
like know about like your channel? Because if there's people showing this like to their students, there has to be people like eventually like saying, "Oh, hey, is this your?" Because like,
yeah, no, of course they definitely know, and they have always been really supportive of me doing it, which is great. I've
yeah,
had the funny thing is when there will be people I know that will like randomly come up to me and say, "I didn't know you had a YouTube channel, but I was watching YouTube and heard your voice." Like that's happened a couple times, and it's always kind of entertaining.
yeah, I feel like because most people like when they do YouTube, they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna do gaming. Oh, I'm gonna do vlogging," but they never like try to do like something like what you're doing because not a lot of people talk about like countries or like the issues they're going to or like what's going on or something interesting about it that no one else talks about, especially with you doing every single state and explaining the US because there's not enough people explaining stuff about like the United States of America. It's always a topic. Heck, there's even people that have YouTube channels that basically have news about the US and they get like hella
Mhm.
views from that.
Yeah, well, like I mean, definitely I think the impression a lot of people have is like I'm gonna make a YouTube channel and I'm gonna do follow this trend or whatever, and it's gonna take off really fast. And my channel, I mean, it took a solid year and a half and dozens of videos before it got anything,
Yeah.
any substantial amount of views. So it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort, and there is a lot of if you're trying to make gaming videos or vlogs, there's a whole lot of competition for that. I mean, that's what
That's
everybody
true.
is trying to do. But you can do something like this, and there are are a good number of geography channels, but there aren't like too many.
Yeah, especially with good
And some
names.
of them do really well. I mean, some of them have millions of subscribers, so
That's true.
there's a big market for this kind of stuff. Um,
It's just people don't want to take like the time, work, or they don't have the passion to
mhm.
do it. they have like no
Yeah,
idea where to
yeah,
begin.
yeah, yeah. That's definitely true. I mean, it definitely helped that I'd, done smaller channels and other YouTube stuff in the past, so I had some experience with it, um, which was
Yeah,
nice.
I'm
But
glad.
it was definitely a big surprise when it really started to take off.
Uh, what do you like? What do you think about the current situation? Because my friend Noble wanted to ask this, and I feel like he's gonna hate me if I don't like tell you this. But what do you think about the current situation with Israel and Palestine? Like, would you ever think of making a video of that due to current events? Because I think that would like boost your channel up.
Um, so I've done some videos on partially recognized countries. Countries that have some countries, do not recognize, do not consider them a country, and others do. And those are really interesting,
Like Lego
because
City.
they're
Yeah,
no, but
did you
like
see the
something
video?
like no, what was it?
Did you see the video? Like, look up does Lego City recognize Israel as a country? Because that's a meme and like like for like Israel because like not a lot of people do that. They have like fictional like places. Do they recognize them as a country? Like, I should send you the video.
Oh, like in like the Lego City universe or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Something.
Does Lego City recognize? No, it's like a meme. It's
That's
like,
Lego
but
City.
it's like really for some reason like super like interesting. Like
Yeah.
it's something super dumb, but when you put so much work into it, it's just like wow, that's crazy.
Someone
Obviously,
just went
you
all
want
in
to
on that.
speak the facts. You don't want to have any joke videos because
Yeah.
it looks like you want to be non-biased. But like, if you ever like, wanted to have some humor or like maybe it'll help you out a bit. Like I don't know, with like personality or when you're like talking like if you want to do that like kind of stuff. If you ever like hold on, let me send the video. But yeah, that's the thing, and it's like a minute long, but it literally talks about like the whole thing and stuff about geography of Israel being a legitimate city.
Yeah, well, from my experience, doing topics like that, you have to, it can be very easy to make people very mad, because
That's true.
everyone has strong opinions on it, and the language you use and around topics, especially of independence movements or wars or
Oh yeah.
a situation like the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Major geopolitical topics, especially
Yeah.
like I'm by no means an expert in that, but I definitely it's they're definitely very important topics, and
Yeah.
I have done videos um on on
On
states with one
the yeah
recognition, and
topic on the situation like similar to it, but not like related to it.
yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's all I understand. Like you don't want to talk about it until like it's finished so then you could speak the facts and have it
Hmm.
as unbiased as possible, which I think is a really
Exactly.
good thing. And I think everyone should do before they have a quick judgment on something.
Yeah.
You ever seen a video called Feels versus Reels?
No.
It's basically how this guy it's super dumb, but like the point that he's trying to make is that like people like would like rather have like believe like their feelings on something than the actual fact of it because like the fact is like a bit the brutal the hard truth and
Mm.
they would want it sugar coated but that's how life is and then it starts with like Karl Marx and all that stuff but like it's really interesting how
Oh yeah, I should
it
definitely check
starts.
that out.
Yeah, I'll send the video, but it's like a super like it's like a joke video, but like it actually like what he's talking about like is like facts, but at the same time he's like trying to make it funny.
Yeah. Oh,
Because
there was this one. Oh, sorry.
yeah, sorry. I'll keep that thought for a second because I
Yeah,
don't you
yeah,
just
yeah.
hate it when like people like are talking about something and you're just holding it on and you're like, man, I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. Like,
No,
come on,
I
man.
got you. Yeah.
Yeah, because he was talking about like how Karl Marx basically wrote a book about how he felt like he didn't want to go to work on Monday and why the government should pay and provide everything for him. That was basically it. What were you talking about?
No, I was saying there's a you might like I think it might be called The Cut. I don't know if that's the series or the channel, but it's like they do these videos where it's like um they bring in, for example, a bunch of Republicans and have them find the secret Democrat, or
Voltaire.
a bunch of Democrats and have them find the secret Republican. And so they're like a bunch of people, and one of them is pretending to be, for example, a Democrat, and every all the other Democrats have to figure out which one is actually the Republican,
So
and
basically,
it's
Among
always
Us, but politics.
yeah, it's like political Among Us, pretty much. Um, they're always really interesting to watch, honestly, the conversation people have and everything.
That's facts. Because some people like that, you wouldn't know like what they believe in. Because most people keep to themselves. Some don't. The thing is, like, especially with today, like people are afraid of getting canceled or like hated by people. But like, it's whatever. Like, do what you gotta do as long as you don't like hurt anyone or kill anyone.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
like,
honestly, people should just be kind to one another, and just treat everybody with some basic
yeah,
human decency and
like
respect.
obviously you're gonna disagree on some of the stuff, but I think if you talk with them, even though they're not gonna believe what you say, or it's gonna be hard to convince them, at least you got your point out as why, and they'll probably have another way of thinking it because people gotta be like open minded because the people like who think they're open minded aren't open minded because they don't like when other people are trying to talk to them about stuff that they think is closed minded, so they're not open minded about it.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes being open-minded is just understanding like we're not going to agree on this, and that's that. None of us are going to convince the other one to change our minds, but as long as we're as long as we're open to it and we understand that, and
Yeah. However, I will
you know,
consider that's how it should go, I guess.
yeah, right, yeah,
Um, I
yeah.
wanted to ask another thing as well. Like, how does it like feel? Have you ever got like recognized in public, or not yet?
Um, no, because I'm not. Most of my stuff is voiceovers, so
Mm,
I've never like. I mean, my early stuff, I like will show myself on camera, but most of what I do now is voiceovers. So no, so that's never happened. But then, like I said earlier, I've had people say like I've had people I know stumble upon my channel before, which is always kind of fun.
yeah, I'm really glad that you do
If you're
these kind
subs
of things. I was looking at one of your other videos where you were talking about I think it might have been like, yeah, the Boston subway system. I think
Yeah, yeah,
was one of them. That one was really interesting too because I only been on the modern ones. I haven't been on like the I've been like the I've been the like obviously the subway, the metro, but like
yeah,
the
yeah.
train system and all that stuff like whoa. And then speaking of trains, I didn't know that George Bush is like I think you were talking about his great grandpa or something was working
Oh
for
yeah,
Chicago like train yard or something or like train company and he got like
yeah.
promoted.
I think that was how the family really started making a lot of their money. Was like one of the Bushes was a railroad
Yeah.
magnate.
If I were to change it, if I no, I wouldn't change it. If I were to add something to the Bush dynasty, I would have added how they used to live in Compton. Because you mentioned they did live
Oh,
in
they did.
California, but yeah, they lived in Compton,
They moved. They moved a lot because he was working in the oil business. So yeah, there were like oil fields in Compton back in the day, I think.
Yeah, because now Compton is like it used to be like super nice, and then it was like super, you know, urban. It was ghetto, and then that's where Eazy-E was from. And I didn't know that. That blew my mind. That he actually met with George Bush too. I can't believe that George Bush and Eazy-E are both from Compton. I'm like, whoa, bro, that blew my mind.
Yeah. Yeah, he was the interesting thing is like you associate both the Bushes with Texas, and they're both originally from New England, you know. And I know the first Bush had was considered throughout his political career. People would consider him like a New England elite, which was kind of true. Like his family was pretty rich, but
That
his
is
son didn't have
facts.
that problem because he had that like thick Texas drawl.
Oh yeah,
Um,
especially with now, I feel like which is weird is like oil companies don't have that much power anymore because I'm seeing like now how like the gas prices they went up, and now the current president wants everything to be like green, like electric hybrid cars now and all that stuff. That's what most of the country's going for, and usually like they're not so big anymore. I thought they would like intervene in this because if I were a person who owned a oil company, I would not let this slide.
I mean, yeah, if I was an oil company, I would start. I mean, start building some wind farms and solar
Oh,
farms. Honestly,
you know
you know,
what
if
you know what you
they've got
should
the money to get on that, but
you know what you should talk about? You should talk about like the BP oil incident.
oh, in Louisiana,
Yeah, back in 2010.
dude,
I
I saw
think
a documentary about that. That was crazy. That was a massive oil spill.
I think that would be an interesting video
Yeah, yeah, it definitely would. It definitely would.
because
There've been some.
most of the reasons why they're out there is for gas cuz like people like are like, there's not enough gas in like the land, so let's just go to the sea. Cuz
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel
There's a
like
lot
there'd
of
be more
offshore.
fossil fuels since like people like animals and creatures have been in the sea for like since like the beginning of time more than the dinosaurs have.
Mhm. Yeah, no, there's definitely a lot of like offshore oil rigs. Like, the Gulf has a ton. Alaska, California, Scotland. I did a video on Scotland, and one of the reasons that Scotland
Mm-hmm.
like thinks that that they could become sustainable and have a strong economy if they were independent is because they've got a ton of offshore oil up in the North Sea. So it's definitely really interesting. And then you're seeing now the electric car industry is doing pretty well. I mean,
Oh yeah, they're
I haven't
doing
looked too
really
much into
good.
it, but there's like an electric F-150 which has come out, which they think could be pretty popular. So definitely an interesting, really interesting topic.
The other interesting topic that I wanted to talk about that you have on your YouTube channel, right, is
Yeah.
which cities could be the next Dubai.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was like that was one of my earlier ones too.
Yeah,
Let's
cause
see.
wasn't it like some guy back in like the early 1950s or 80s where he was like, you know what, I'm gonna build a desert, I'm gonna build a city out in this desert, right? And everyone's like, you could never do that, and then he did.
I don't remember exactly the story behind it, but a lot of the cities, like Dubai, um, and then Saudi Arabia's got some massive, like very, you know, skyscraper heavy, highly developed cities, are because those are very, very oil rich countries.
Oh
So
yeah.
I was looking at, I think in that video, some other
Hold up.
basically oil
Yeah.
rich countries that are planning these big new city developments. Because you're right, I think Dubai definitely existed beforehand, but a lot of the places I talked about are just these planned cities that people are just building on the spot.
Yeah, because I said you like there was one in like South America that they were gonna build too. I don't know what you.
Yeah, that was okay. That was there might have been one in South America. There was definitely one in Central America because they had planned to build what ended up being the Panama Canal through a different spot. And then Panama City, where the canal ends, is now, a pretty big uh, skyscraper heavy city. Um, and so I was sort of theorizing, what if they built a canal somewhere else now, or what if they had in the past? Would a big city have developed on another location? But one thing I don't know if you've been looking at the stuff about the Egypt's new capital, but one of my earlier videos talked about like these planned capital cities, and apparently it's coming along. They're building like a new capital city out in the desert actually, and it's sort of almost done. I don't think they've released a name for it or anything yet, so it'll be interesting to see what it ends up being called and if it winds up successful. But
Yeah, and there was also I think you were talking about underrated cities in America.
yeah, yeah.
How did you like? How did that came about? Like, did you just look up like top 10 underrated cities, or were you like, you know what, I like these cities, but they don't get that much spotlight?
Yeah, that's what I did. I only did places that I'd actually been to myself. And so I did, cities that I personally enjoyed a lot. But that, you don't hear about that often.
Yeah, the
I
cities
don't
that
get a lot of attention.
I've only been to, other than Chicago, would have been Buffalo, New York, because
Yeah,
I didn't know that was New York. I thought we were like off the border, like Pennsylvania, because we went there to see the Niagara Falls, right? But I had no
yeah,
clue we
yeah.
were in like New York, because we went to Massachusetts, and I thought we were like somewhere else because New York is usually a bit more farther, but I didn't know that was a part of New
Mhm.
York. But like Buffalo, New York looks really nice.
I've never actually been out to Buffalo, but yeah, it's New York's a huge state, so you've got these, big cities like Buffalo and Rochester that, don't get half the attention that New York City does just because it's so much bigger. But no, I definitely would like to get out to upstate New York and see some of the areas up there.
Yeah, because that's the only place I've been to, and it's like way more nicer than, because I think New York would be like a bit like Detroit, but like not Detroit, but like the crime, because there was calm, it was nice, like it was right by the. I think the reason why it looked nice and stuff is because it was like literally right by the Canadian border.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I know Buffalo's had its issues with like job loss and deindustrialization and stuff. Um,
That's true. I remember one
I
of
know
my
a lot of cities
teachers.
in that area have, like Detroit.
Yeah, I remember one of my teachers went out there for a meeting, and they said, "Hey, we're gonna have to let go some of the people from your
Mhm.
company, because I think that's where the HQ was, because yeah, they were like
Yeah,
losing." The thing is, I hate this, and everyone should agree on this, whether you're left or right, is that we need to start producing stuff back in America. We need to start making more stuff, because ever since like NAFTA was signed, everyone else has been going, like every other US company has been going to, South America to get their products made, like, they're getting made with the same quality. The only thing is they're getting a paid cheap labor and not giving the benefits to the people, because there's like different
yeah,
laws there and stuff, which which messes up these countries currency, which is why most of the people are migrating in the first place. That's the
yeah,
whole
yeah,
reason
yeah.
why. That's the like, and that's just fact. That's not.
Yeah. Well, then there's also issues with just industries, like total industries that are becoming obsolete. as the times and technology change,
Yeah, with the
like coal, a
robots.
lot of manufacturing, a lot of manufacturing jobs. So then some cities will get in these terrible cycles of job loss um
Yeah.
and losing buildings becoming abandoned, and it's a big problem.
I
It's a really big
feel
problem.
like it's not even that they're outsourcing. I feel like there's not enough people in America starting companies. I feel like all we do is consume, and we're afraid of the fear that like we'll start a business and it will fail horribly and we'll go poor and bankrupt. But that's
Well,
like if you borrow a bunch of money.
a lot of people also don't have the money to fall back on in
That's
case it
true.
does, because starting a business it's a big risk, but it's difficult for people to take that risk because
Yeah.
they might not be making a lot in their current job and not have a lot saved up.
That's the thing too. What I don't like is that like employers, and this is how it's been for a long time, like most people who work don't like their employers and stuff, but they can't argue because like, they gotta get paid, they gotta get that 9 to 5, they gotta feed their family and children
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah,
But I feel like other people, like while they're working, they should save up enough money for like side businesses. I'm talking about like billboards, ATM machines, vending machine businesses. Uh, those are like the most smallest ones I can think of right now. There's probably other ones too, and then like the bigger ones like laundromats, because people are always gonna need their clothes clean. Same thing with car
yeah,
washes.
yeah.
People are always gonna clean their cars at a car wash. But I feel like billboards is the most safest thing because I have never seen a billboard ever gone out of business or ever had the thing saying to call the number to put your ad on it, because there's always an ad on there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know too much about how the billboard industry works. That'd be interesting. There's some states that don't have any billboards, and then there's some states that have a lot. I remember it might be Nevada has just got a ton of billboards.
The thing
You
is with
know,
business, people when they think of business, they think of mostly of the food. I'm telling you right now, unless you're like want to be in a big struggle, and unless your like food is different from like all the others, you're gonna be in a big problem. Do not start a food business unless like it's like an actually good, and the same thing with the prices too. And because with food businesses, you're gonna have to spend a lot of money on them. But like I'm talking about like
yeah, I've heard it's a tough industry, the restaurant
it
industry.
is food. I can. I had my parents, my dad. He started a business. Uh, he had two restaurants, but it eventually failed because the thing is, when you're in a family business, never work with family. This is when I was like a fetus, so I wouldn't remember anything. But like when I see most family businesses, and my uncle started one too, but it was only him working, and he had it. It's like in a not a good area where mostly people come. Like if I was to start a business, I sold hot chips. That's the only business that's worked for me, selling hot Cheetos.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I think either wholesaling is a good business as well. Also like
Really,
e-commerce as
it's hard
well.
for people yeah, yeah. E-commerce is, yeah. I don't know. I've got
Okay,
for
so
the
for
fairly
e-commerce,
large channel this is.
I'll explain this to you right now really quickly. So basically,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
these people do is they start up a Shopify website or whatever, they go promote it, and where they buy their products is from like AliExpress, where these you order this stuff wholesale from China, but instead of them ordering it, you put their products on your website, but you raise the prices a bit more above, and while you do that, the customer puts all their information in there, and you put all their information on AliExpress, their address, but they paid you like a bit more. Let's say like, okay, you spent like, you buy this product from AliExpress for $3, but you're charging that person $6 because you're getting it for wholesale, right? And for them, it sounds like a
yeah.
reasonable price. So you put it there, and that stuff gets shipped to them. without them knowing
Yeah,
that AliExpress
it's like
existed.
drop shipping.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah,
around
I mean,
forever.
yeah, I mean, okay. So my experience with e-commerce is I've got a merch store, um, and it's probably because my stuff's made in the U.S.
Yeah,
and so
really proud.
I'm not turning a profit off of the merchandise store. I'll sell a couple things here and there. But like there's like a monthly subscription for Shopify and you get into all this other stuff. So it would be a tough industry. And I feel
It
like
is.
um if you're just trying to go and like, oh, I'm gonna start a online clothing store. Um
It's gonna be. You have
you're
to have
not
a
you're
big
not gonna be
following.
getting like I've only made a couple sales and I haven't turned a profit on
Profit.
it. And I'm getting,
Mm-hmm.
pretty high exposure. You're mentioning them that in each of my videos. So I don't think it would be an easy industry
Yeah,
to
it's not.
to get into.
If I were to do drop shipping, I would do it on Amazon. Do it on Amazon because whatever they look up, chances are your product's gonna be. That's why Amazon is like the most, like Jeff Bezos, like the most richest person, and the people who like list their stuff on sale on there, they make the most money because you already have a website to put it on. The only thing is people
Mm,
have to look for it, like because most people, because like that's a popular site. That's the first place everyone's gonna
yeah,
go.
yeah,
They're not gonna go on Google because like they trust Amazon. They trust that their packages are going to get shipped. And if you become a real resale for them, chances are your and if you your product is most likely going to get bought, depending on the price, the shipping date, all of that stuff, etc.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, Amazon's is definitely really popular. And it's had a huge impact. I mean, like Sears, for example, is
Oh
I don't know
yeah,
if it went bankrupt or will go bankrupt. It's
it's
a
gone.
lot of
It's
it's
been
it's
gone now.
upended yeah, it's really upended um that market.
The thing is, what's really
It's just
weird
so much
is
more convenient.
Kohl's hasn't gotten out of business, and Kohl's is very similar to Sears, but I think the reason why they haven't is because they decided, hey, if you can't beat him, join him, and they joined up with Amazon to like you would go to those stores to return like products from Amazon that you weren't pleased with or just wanted to return, and
Oh,
it's free. You don't have to pay a fee.
oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, that's how I think most coal places are staying in business. I don't know if the other one does it too, but it's weird because Sears had to be in some kind of debt. Same thing with what's it called, Kmart, because they were like sister companies or they were owned by like the same company. They went out of business too. They were run down. I had no idea what they were doing. Either they didn't sell their inventory very well, or they were borrowing money from somebody. Same thing with
Yeah.
Toys R
Well,
Us.
like Walmart is still doing well.
Oh, Walmart's doing amazing.
I think if you look at like the richest people in all the states, like there are several different states where the richest person is a member of the Walton family, which founded Walmart. And I think part of the reason is it's such high name recognition. It's so widespread. And so it's like if you don't want to wait 3 or 4 days for your package to come on Amazon and you want it cheap and fast, you might be willing to make a 5-minute drive because there's probably guaranteed to be a Walmart near you. So it manages to stay in business even though online shopping's become um, so big.
Yeah. What do you think of the gas prices? Oh wait, sorry. Sorry, I was muted, my bad. I was like, wait, what's going on? And I'm like, yeah, of course. Other than that, with Walmart too, they own Sam's Club as well, and it's like they also sell stuff for wholesale at Sam's. So if you can't afford a Sam's Club membership, they're already making money because you'll go to Walmart because they own that company. I feel like it's kind of monopolizing, but there's a lot of companies like especially like T-Mobile. Like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
surprised how they haven't been caught out for monopolizing because they got Sprint, they got Boost Mobile, I think, or was it Metro PCS? Yeah, I think it might have been Metro PCS because Metro
Oh yeah.
PCS was owned by Sprint and they bought out Sprint, so that means they must own Metro PCS as well, which they did because I remember my store had 3 T-Mobiles in it, and 2 of them were literally right across
Yeah.
each other. I'm like, bruh.
Well, have you heard about the like Facebook anti-monopoly stuff that's been happening? I don't know. It was a couple
Oh
months back, but
yeah.
it was like I don't know. It was like maybe 45. I'm just throwing out a number. It was most state attorney generals, super bipartisan, um, came together in this massive anti-monopoly, I guess, investigation into Facebook's owning of like how they bought WhatsApp and Instagram. And the claim is that they basically forced them out of the market.
That's
But
true. They were gonna
so
get
I wonder what's going to
Snapchat
happen.
too. They were about to get Snapchat too.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't like it that they own already 3 apps because Twitter owned Vine, and that shut down, and that was a disappointment when that happened.
Yeah.
I think Facebook might have tried to cop TikTok as well. Oh no, I think that was Microsoft.
Yeah,
Um,
that was Microsoft, I think.
But like, no, they were gonna get Snapchat at one point. I remember they were trying to get but they didn't. So they got Instagram and said, yeah, Facebook is legitimately. When they got WhatsApp, I didn't want to use WhatsApp anymore because WhatsApp was like my favorite sketchy third party app like Kick to use when I was talking with
Yeah,
my friends because it felt like Skype, but like without the Microsoft and getting doxxed. But you just had that feeling like it would happen, but it wouldn't, and it was just like an incognito. I don't know. I liked WhatsApp, but up until Facebook bought them, it's like, oh wow, now Mark Zuckerberg is spying on all my stuff. Now I can't even have privacy on WhatsApp, and I think WhatsApp, a lot of people in China use it too, and I don't think they use it anymore unless Facebook is good with China.
yeah. No, I have no idea what. I was like, I know it's popular internationally. I think India it's really big in. But yeah, I know. I think Hyderabad and Bengaluru are like two cities that are these major tech centers now that are growing into. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I know SpaceX. I know Elon's trying to do some stuff in Texas. Have you heard about that city he's trying to build? There's it's oh I there's like a really small town. I think right on the border um between Texas and Mexico, right on the coast too. And he's trying to build a city there because they have a launch site nearby. I think he's trying to basically make that the center of SpaceX, but the locals aren't happy with it. Part of the problem is they'll move in and like drive up all the rents. So like people, if they don't sell their place, they might not even have a choice because they can't afford to even live there anymore. You know.
That's facts.
I think
That's
you're muted
facts.
again.
Yeah, sorry, my bad. Yeah, that's facts. That's true. Uh, that's true because eventually the taxes are gonna get raised up a lot. I forgot about that one. Yeah, the I think that only happens in like populated areas, but that's true. Here we
Yeah,
pay
yeah,
like 3K a year for like house properties, which isn't nothing in my
yeah.
opinion. Uh, Other than that, yeah, a lot of companies are coming here. The Tex like not coming here. I mean, coming to Texas to have their companies. Because number one, they're not paying state income. Their employees aren't paying state income, so they're making more money.
Hmm.
The only problem I
Yeah.
have with it is it's just like I know it's a dumb question and they wouldn't, but why not try to like go to Detroit and try to like recover it little by little? Because like I feel there, like I know it's super abandoned and it's a really sketchy, place and all that stuff, but like it's just literally there, this land. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be a bit tough, but like I feel like it'd be like I don't know, convenient for the people there because like there's always these people complaining about there's not enough of this, but then there is. However, it's I don't know.
Yeah, I think like if that were to happen, they'd have to make sure that they're not just like moving in a ton of existing employees, like high paying employees and just displacing all the locals.
That's
They'd have to
true.
actually make sure that the people that already live there are actually benefiting from it and getting employed.
Yeah, that is
And they're
true.
able to, you know, because if you like improve the look of a city, but all the locals can't afford to live there anymore.
That is
And they're,
true.
getting displaced from their home. It's not
That'd
worth
be
it.
horrible. It isn't. Like that's absolutely
That's
right.
like what
Hopefully,
always happens.
hopefully they
So
do offer them jobs. If not, it's gonna look really bad. The thing is, everyone loves capitalism when they're doing it, but no one loves capitalism when they're not doing it.
yeah, yeah. Like there's
Or like I don't know, business
yeah.
companies, all that stuff. Like the stuff like why people would like be hating like on big tech, big companies, all that stuff. They're corrupt, but it's really not that way. Like that's why I have that mentality. If you can't beat them, join them. I try to I try to plan. Like obviously, I work, get some capital, start a small business, and eventually make it bigger. I'm gonna try to keep it. Obviously, I want it in America. I'm not trying to out resource to other countries because I feel like that would be really complicated, in my opinion. Just try to keep it in the U.S.
Yeah, I mean, I there's definitely um lots of problems with when that happens with companies outsourcing, just totally mistreating their employees and paying them next to nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know how we solve that, but it's a big problem. It's not just we lose jobs here in the US. It's just you have people internationally that the new employees are just being treated, terribly.
Horribly. And this is why the companies have it there, but they won't get in any problems with like the US ever since like the whole NAFTA thing. It's so
Yeah,
weird,
and it's
like
like
you see these politicians saying all this stuff, but if they were really about that life, the first thing they would say is NAFTA, NAFTA, and then everyone's like, whoa, hold up, buddy,
I
wait a
think
minute.
I think we got rid of NAFTA. Like I think we replaced it with something else. The
Really?
U.S. Mexico Canada agreement. Yeah, like last year. I don't know too much about it, but it was pretty. I think it was popular on a bipartisan basis.
Uh,
Because I know NAFTA. I think a lot of people recognized
Hold on.
um, in both parties that a lot of people had problems with NAFTA. So I don't know too much about the USMCA though, but I think that's what's in place now. I don't know
I'm looking. Hold up.
how much
Let
of
me
an
see,
impact
because
it'll
I
have, but
know I don't think NAFTA hasn't been off. Maybe they made changes to NAFTA. They probably made like a bunch of changes too. Most of your videos, I wanted to ask this. Are you? I always say this, but without meaning any disrespect, like but like saying
yeah.
this obnoxiously, but like I ask this to everyone. Are you balling? Yes or no? Are you balling? Like, are you balling? Like, you're dripping. Like, you're making that bread. Like that
I
YouTube
am
bread.
I am monetized, yeah.
That
I'm
must
not
have been.
gonna. It's definitely nice being monetized. Um,
Yeah.
it's
Um.
good to have have it as a source of income.
Cause I asked this with my other friend, and he said, "Yeah, like, do your like, how did your like parents react when you were making money? Have you told them about that or nah?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're definitely really happy with it. And I mean, I'm sure you know this. Like the small creators aren't
Yeah,
getting anything.
I think
Then at some point you hit this mark, and then you're monetized. But I feel like they should. I don't know. I feel like if it would be nice if some of these small creators who are working really hard um,
Oh
are
yeah,
able to
of
get
course.
something from there.
You have to do it for passion first because like everyone has to do
Yeah,
it because if you're doing it for money, unless you know how to get big really quickly and you know people that already been in the game that can get you up quickly as well, then you're gonna be in some trouble. I've been doing this since I was like 7 years old and I had no idea what I was doing. At first, I was doing like Minecraft, and after that, I was doing like drawing, animations, all of that stuff, gaming,
yeah,
and then now podcasting. I'm doing whatever because never keep a trend, however, or like do one thing. But however, for you, history is never gonna change. It's always gonna be the same. Obviously, there's gonna be different stuff with history, but like it's a subject that would always be trending. That's always gonna be like substantial. That's always gonna be afloat because everyone always wants to learn about history. Like we learn it almost every day from either when we go to school or either if we just want to look up, something interesting about the country. Like this is stuff where you can go back to or look it up and it's still gonna be relevant for whatever you're looking up. The reason why you're looking up this video for, but I feel like you
yeah,
like
yeah.
hit gold mine
Totally.
for this, especially with your passion for this as well. You're gonna do good, and especially since I don't think you'll get demonetized either, because I don't see you playing that much like music. It's mostly you explaining it, and you have a lot of views too. So I think you might be making more money than other people, because I've been getting copyright strikes and other stuff for like the most like littlest like music bits, but you are doing well. Keep doing what you gotta do. Uh, Other than that, like, oh man, like, have you ever like, what was like the first video you ever watched on YouTube?
I have no idea.
I have no idea. Like, what was like the
I have
like?
no.
Do you remember like any video? Like, okay, it doesn't have to be like the first, but like the most recent one you could remember that you watched a long time ago.
Most recent one I can remember for a long time ago.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, back when I was like really young, I was watching all the Minecraft stuff. When I was younger. So those are probably some of the earlier videos I watched.
Back in
The
like,
like
yeah.
survival island and that kind of stuff.
Oh my god, bro. Back in the day, I was watching like on YouTube like Lego stop motion videos, the duck song, literally. I think it was Firefox. Yeah, that guy, Forest Fire, whatever his name is, was a good YouTuber. I remember watching mostly like plush videos and then like gaming videos. I think the gaming like Smosh. I remember watching Fred. Oh my god. And I remember like the first like gaming videos I legitimately started watching because mostly like I would like back then it would be like Sonic and Mario, but I wouldn't be watching the gameplay. I would just be watching like parodies or animations of it. But like the actual gaming stuff I got into was most likely Minecraft because Minecraft got really popular, especially like in 2013. I started playing it
Yeah, yeah,
with a friend, and I'm gonna miss those times when we were in his basement. We were eating pizza and playing Minecraft on his Xbox 360, and this was like before it came out like physical for DVD. When you had to like to get it on the
oh yeah,
arcade, when Microsoft Points was still a thing. That's
yeah,
how
man.
like I love the game. I always wanted to get it for the PC. Eventually, I got it for the PC back in like 2014, and I got it cheap, like for $15. And now they're selling it
Oh,
way
nice.
more than it was. Like the price is inflated for Minecraft, and it's been around forever. Well, not forever, like
Yeah, I know. I think
10 years.
it has got more expensive. So I forget when Microsoft bought it out, but
I think they bought it out like, if I'm not wrong, 2018.
maybe I feel like it was earlier than that though. They got a new CEO at some point. I
Oh, it
feel
was
like that was kind of right
2014.
away.
It was 2014.
2014. That sounds right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, they've got what, Xbox and Skype too. Yeah,
Yeah, like I feel like the
they've got a
best,
lot
like
of.
if you want the best experience to play Minecraft, I recommend like either the Xbox version or the PC because like for the people that were on PlayStation, like that was the only game that like Xbox had that was an exclusive that people would actually play cuz other than that they would have Halo, Gears of War, but they weren't as
Mm,
good as Minecraft.
yeah, I don't think I've ever really got into playing it on the Xbox, but
Especially since you could play crossplay too on it as well.
huh. Well, what does that do?
Oh, so basically you have to download Windows 10 edition of Minecraft on your computer. And let's say I have an Xbox, right? But you know how you have the
Yeah.
Xbox app? You can invite me to the game, whatever game you're on, right? And I can join you and we could play. And this works for the Switch, mobile, even the PlayStation. It doesn't work that well for the PlayStation because you can't join realms off of PlayStation, but you can join realms if you're on the Nintendo, Xbox One, PC, phone. That's why I like Minecraft because like you can play with mostly anyone.
Yeah, better to just get it in one take.
That is true. Although I'm
Little
gonna have
editing
to,
as
yeah.
possible.
Although I'm gonna have to edit it still, regardless.
Yeah, I feel like editing a podcast. I've always wanted to do a podcast, but the editing has been.
It's
I've like
been
the
hor-
editing. I feel like is what scares me about it.
Yeah. All you have to do
Having
is
to
cut
go
out the
through such
parts
a
you don't
long.
want to hear and put in the interesting parts. I've done this. I've done this a bunch.
Yeah, yeah. Just shorten it down and stuff.
My homie Noble's replying to me saying I have the virus. I'm like, yeah, I have the Modelo virus. Nah. Speaking of like COVID, like I haven't gotten the flu or haven't been sick for a year. Like ever since COVID has like came in March, I haven't went to the doctor, which is a bit weird.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, because if everybody's avoiding one another and wearing masks, it's harder for
And
anything
like
to spread.
places have been way more cleaner than before. Like I can't find coins or quarters on the floor anymore because like I remember
Oh,
when you
really?
could, yeah, like there's been less of it now. Because I remember
I
back
didn't even
like
notice that.
in 2019, because I always pick up coins, quarters, everything, because it's just literally free money. Like
Yeah, yeah,
I hated how people like throw pennies in the garbage and stuff. It's just like, bro, come on. Like, and then
yeah,
you're wondering like, oh man, I can't afford this. Well, maybe you could if you kept those pennies. I don't know. It eventually accumulates. Like money accumulates. We have so
yeah.
much money. Like I don't even know why we have a mint anymore. Because like I think we have enough money to like prevent inflation.
I don't know. I think they keep producing it. I think too. I think it's for inflation reasons. I don't even know. But I don't know if this is true. I've heard this could very well not be true, but I've heard that it costs 2 cents to produce a penny.
Oh, that's true. That's true. It costs more than it is to make a penny. Yeah, because copper's more valuable, and there's more copper in a penny. Like the pennies before like 1935 are worth like a dollar or two, or 1945. Yeah, I have one, and
Yeah.
I have a silver dollar coin with not Lyndon B. Johnson. It was the one girl on there. What was her name? It was like silver dollar coin. I know, like, hold up.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I know what you mean.
It's the what was her name? Like,
Sacagawea, right?
not Second.
On the
It was
like.
Susan B. Anthony. Susan B. Anthony. Like the one
Oh,
that has
okay,
like the
okay, okay.
triangle sides. I thought that was like an off-brand dollar, but it's like
Mm,
a genuine dollar, and I'm like, bro, a Susan B. Anthony. Like I have one. Like I started collecting coins and stuff because I feel like coins are more valuable than dollar notes because our money hasn't been backed by the gold since like the 1970s, which is disappointing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I know there are a lot of community questions that people have asked in like I think mostly the podcast
Oh
channel, but there
yeah, we
might be
should
some
ask.
in
We should ask the
some of
questions.
the other ones. Maybe I
So,
could
oh, Quinn hasn't talked
answer
the
some
whole
of
time. I
those.
forgot
Let
that
me see
Quinn was
what
on. How you doing,
let
Quinn?
me see what people have sent.
How? Yeah, I was looking at that and I didn't know Quinn was on. I thought like he was so quiet. How you doing, Quinn? Just chilling.
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Oh, that's good. Yeah. How did you become his moderator? Like, what? Or are you guys like friends in like IRL, or how did it become like you
Oh, we're
became his?
brothers.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I gotta ask you a question now, because since you're his brother, do you ever want to make a YouTube channel yourself or consider?
I have a channel.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
What's it called? Or do you not want to?
Quinn the cameraman.
Really? Have you done like collabs with your brother?
I think we made some videos together like a couple years ago, but yeah, we also have had like what's up, guys? Many channels together, but
Oh
Many.
that was
wow.
like back in middle school. So
I need to do a podcast where it's just separately you now, because I see you're like been doing VFX, 3D effects, all of that stuff. You
yeah,
use like Blender or something to make your stuff.
yeah, Blender.
Whoa, and it's like actually good quality. Whoa. You need to
Thanks.
Hey, if you don't gotta do it, but just between me and you need to tell your brother, yo, drop me a plug. You gotta help your brother out. You gotta be like, guys, sub to my brother, because you could probably blow him up where he can be able to monetize his stuff.
Hey, check his videos. First link in the description. That's me.
Yeah. Oh, it
I do. I,
is.
I I my more recent videos I tend to shout them out in the end.
Yeah. Well, I'll link your channel and obviously that is interesting's channel to this podcast. I wanted to ask you guys. What I usually do for a podcast is I draw people, but usually Noble did the last one. But what do you want to be drawn as, like an avatar? Do you want me to just draw your logo as a person, or what do you want, Quinn? Like, what do you guys
Um,
Yeah, I
uh,
mean for me, you can do my logo.
All right.
I'll just leave it up to you, I guess.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can do what you want with it. Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, because usually, like, I draw the people. That's probably why most of my podcast takes so long to come out. The other one didn't, because Noble just drew it really quickly as like a joke. But I'm like, you know what? That's actually really good. I'm gonna put it as the thumbnail, not only to save me time, but because I genuinely like it.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Um,
Feel free to like if you wanna, I can send you my logo if you want it and like draw it or whatever.
he says he's my
Whatever
homie
you want
says
to go with
if
it.
he drew it again, I'm gonna have to post it on there again. Uh, I gotta thank the homie Noble for just being here. I'm sorry that you I couldn't hear you speak the facts, but for the next one for sure. You guys know any other people who would want to be interviewed that like do YouTube or like just do something interesting?
Ooh. Um, I'm not sure off the top of my head. Yeah, I mean, there's some other channels I know, but I feel like not well enough to. Um,
Like reference?
yeah, I don't know. I'll have to get back to you on that.
Yeah, of course. If I ever meet another YouTuber who does history and geopolitics and all that stuff, I'll make sure to plug you.
Yeah, for
Mention
sure.
you for sure.
Appreciate it, man.
We gotta make it big somehow, either working together. Yeah, because when like I want to get Elixir really bad on a podcast, but
Yeah, that'd be fun, I think.
that would be fun because I have been watching and stuff for a very, very long time, and I think it would be a great podcast. Although this one was more longer than my other one, which is really good because we talked about a lot of stuff. I don't know if you guys want to end it like around 6 because usually I keep the videos up to like an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, this could definitely be a good time to wrap things up if you
Yeah.
want.
We could have like a few more minutes. But
Yeah.
other than that, I wanted to ask another question. Like, how do you feel on like consistency? Like, have you ever like tried to like upload like twice or like in a week or like how would your schedule go or like how would you do for ideas? Do you just write like video ideas down in like a notebook or like on a notepad on like the on like your computer or just like you just think of it and if you know enough about it you'll make a video on it eventually?
Yeah, exactly that. It's like I have a big, huge, multiple page running list of potential topics. But I know I definitely need to get better on consistency. It's tough having school and this
It
because
is
I'm sure you know
oh
the
yeah, I forgot.
schools sometimes you don't have a whole lot of work and sometimes
That's true.
midterms, finals, you
I
just
for,
can't spend any
I
time
forgot
on it.
to ask you about your college. What are you trying to major in, dude?
I right now I'm thinking of majoring in geography, so that'll be
Bro,
a
that's
fun
amazing.
thing. Yeah, that'll be good for the channel. Um,
Yeah.
but I've basically accidentally like just taking the classes I'm interested in, taking like half the required classes
And
for major.
especially
So
since you're making videos on it and stuff, bro, that is legitimately good. Because most people, like, they'll do it, and then they'll be like, you know what, I'm dropping it. But, like, if you have a pat and you do, keep going, bro. Even if it's hard, just keep going. And heck,
yeah,
you could probably
exactly.
even, like, use some of your work or reports for, like, future videos where you already probably, like, wrote down a bunch of stuff, and you could be like, you know what, I'm gonna just, like, you're not half, like, assing it, but, like, you already done, like, some of the work, even if you're not interested, but just to get something out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know where that would take me, but I've always liked making videography, and this has been a fun. Having this channel has been a lot of fun. So yeah, thanks for really appreciate you inviting me for this, man.
Thanks, bro. Like, no, thank you for like doing this with me. I appreciate it more. You have no idea how it is to like get like legitimate like guests on because like most of the time like people would be like, okay, yeah, nah, and then I'd be like, okay, but like since you were like up for it, and especially since like I said, oh, let's do this, and then I didn't do it the next week, I'm like, oh, how about we do this? I thought you were gonna be like a little bit like, you know, mad or like a little bit
No,
frustrated, and then we're like, oh, thank God, because like
no,
most
it's all good.
okay, thank you. Because like most people, like they're like a bit impatient when someone says they're gonna do this and they don't. Like the thing is, like I want to do stuff without saying we're gonna do it, but I feel like I don't want to get like
Mm,
that person like oh like I didn't prepare, give me time, all that stuff. But it went out good because I talked about most of the stuff I wanted to talk to you about, which were your videos, what you talked about in them, all the current things, and like recommending you some other stuff that would be interesting to put on your channel as well.
yeah, yeah. Well, let me know when you post this, and I'll be happy to send a link in a community post. Hopefully, get some other people viewing it or something.
Yeah, for sure. I'll get it out as soon as possible. I'll link your Patreon, Instagram, everything. I do that for like mostly everyone like I'm with here. I'll do it for your brother too. As soon as
Yeah,
possible, get
appreciate it,
it
man.
done. I'm just glad like because I feel like when I talk to you guys and actually do this, like I'm so thankful because like when we're doing this, I feel like it's an actual legitimate one. Because like when I do it with my friends, yeah, I have fun doing it, but like I feel like this is actually like legitimate because like these are people like I haven't talked to, and this is like my first. Well, I talked to you before, but not as much. And this is like
Yeah, yeah.
the first time where I could like spend like 2 hours talking to you about like all of this
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Yeah, totally.
It's been good. Thank you for coming on.
Of course. Of course. And thanks for letting me do it live here so some people can listen in.
Yeah, of course. And I hope if these people wanted to ask questions, they could if they feel like it. And if not, then let it be.
Yeah, maybe maybe
'Cause-
we'll
Cause
maybe we can call it.
Dragon Ball fanboy was talking about you should do a video of United States versus Canada. And
Oh yeah. That could definitely be interesting.
Tesla's not being criticized enough because Elon maintains a good PR. Yeah, Elon hates Calido. What's PR? Yeah. It's been real. Thank you everyone for watching. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone.
Bye. Thanks everybody.
Bye. Have a wonderful time.